Let me start off by saying I am not encouraging anyone to take any of these substances. I'm strictly talking about this for educational purposes, and I am um, speaking from my experiences. In no way, shape, or form am I telling you that you should do these or that you have to do these. These are simply a medicine, and I'm simply sharing with you how they affected my life and actual that they have to potentially affect yours. Ashe. It's I think it's day 6 or 7. I don't know. I stopped. I don't know. You lose track of days. Um, Doing pretty good. I've realized now that it's like that my cravings have completely flip-flopped, right? So before I would get them at night right before I go to bed, but now it's when I wake up in the morning, like right before, or right when I wake up, like I have like a deep anxiety, and it's just like making me want to smoke, but it's all in the head. It's all in the mind game. You're not your addictions. If you can't control your vices are controlling you. This isn't you. Go within. The strength is all within. Like, you got the power within yourself to control yourself, and that's what this is all about. Like, learning to control like yourself and your emotions. You know what I mean? All right. Boom. What are we talking about? We're gonna talk about my experiences on psychedelics. Yeah, a lot of people have like negative connotations about them or negative thought patterns about them just because they've never done it. And this is like true about like everything in life. Like, so many people have negative views on stuff that they've never done, they've never tried, they've never looked up on. They just hear someone else talk about it, and then they say, oh, that's bad, you should never do it. All right, let's get into it. So first off, I've done LSD, mushrooms, well, both of those. And the number one thing I always hear is someone saying that they thought the sky is falling, so they ran out into the middle of the street and started spinning around in circles naked. And then I heard another dude, this is the number one story I always hear, is dude took a psychedelic, thought he could fly, and then he jumped off a building. We gonna pause real quick. If you think that you could fly off of psychedelics, start off the fucking ground, right? Right? If you think you can fly, just start like flying, nigga. Don't jump off a building. Like, what the that don't even make sense. Like, that is natural selection at that point, if it actually happened. But let me get into this. One, psychedelics aren't for everyone. I'm gonna just say that straight up. Like, you have to be like, I'm not saying like you have to be like a certain type of person, but like, it's just the what the drug or what the substance does, specifically mushrooms. What the substance does is that it exposes you to your own thoughts and your own thought patterns. So if you're someone who is incredibly scared of your thoughts, or you're incredibly scared of who you are, so if you're someone who's full of self-hate, and you don't accept yourself for who you are, and you have emotions in the past that you didn't necessarily deal with, or you don't or anything like in that nature, those things that you constantly avoid are going to show up in that experience. And then so let me just talk about my personal experiences. So I've taken LSD maybe 3 times. 3, 4 times. Oh yeah, a little bit more. A little bit more than 3, 4 times. And I've taken mushrooms like 3 times as well. But for one, it's important to recognize these things as a medicine rather than like a recreational drug. And you can look this up separately. Like there's even studies today that these medicines help you go through like psychological trauma, right? Mushrooms have been proven to help you stop smoking. That I think it was like an 80% success rate that if you took a psychedelic trip with the intentions of having it help you stop smoking, it will get you to stop smoking. All right. So one thing that always happened, or that has consistently happened to me, was like a purge. Like I call it a purge, and it's when you take these substances, you have a high chance of throwing up, and I consider that like me purging the bad energies that are contained within me, like out of my body, right? Because as soon as I throw that up, like I feel like so much better about myself. And I would say when you take these and you, especially in nature, you lose your ego. And if you don't know what your ego is, your ego is you. So Devin Wayne Henderson, like that is not me. That's my ego. Who I believe I am is my ego. When you take these medicines, all of that goes away. So you literally become one with the surroundings around you. That sounds cheesy, I know, but if you take it and you go into it with a willingness to understand like yourself and the world around you, then you would realize that there really isn't a separateness between me and Vinny Evergreen. You feel me? There is no separateness, because in the day, if Vinny dies, he's going to fall over, he's going to degrade, and he's going to turn to dirt. I die, I'm going to fall over, I'm going to degrade, and I'm going to turn to dirt. We are one with this earth that we are sitting on right now. And it's important to recognize that. This is kind of scatterbrained, but you can't. They ain't. Psychedelics aren't something to be afraid of. The medicine itself isn't something to be afraid of. And what I always say is that it doesn't give you the trip that you want, it gives you the trip that you need. So like I said before, if you take these, expect to encounter your thoughts, encounter your emotions, or encounter hidden thoughts, encounter hidden emotions, encounter things, or realize, even, this is another big one, the music that you listen to, if you listen to it on these substances, you will realize how they make you feel subconsciously, right? Because everything makes you feel like a certain type of way. Like if I play some high vibe music right now, you're gonna feel like at a high vibe. If you play some low vibe music right now, you're gonna feel at a low vibe. You feel me? So, but on these medicines, you experience that like times 100. So if you are listening to some depressing ass music on the regular, like Trippie Redd, or like I'm not gonna keep on calling out dudes, but like if you're listening to some depressing ass music on the regular, like you're gonna notice that. You feel me? So it really just helps you notice qualities about yourself that you would otherwise hide. And I think that's really important for all of us. And then another factor um, is it allows you to learn so much, because what you realize is there is a lot of hidden wisdom in the world around you. And once you stop talking so much, you're able to like listen, you hear a lot of you get like snippets of knowledge, and then it's kind of like your job to piece it together. So normally what I do on trips, when I do them alone personally, I write down stuff. Like, I'll write down like stuff that I'm learning, and then come back when I'm not tripping, and then try to integrate that what I've learned into my life. Like one of the best experiences I've ever had was taking shrooms and watching the Midnight Gospel. If you haven't watched the Midnight Gospel, watch it on Netflix. It is by far one of the most influential TV shows that have shaped my life. I don't mess with Netflix, but if you do, watch that show. But yeah, last things last. Like I said, if you are someone that is scared of their own mind, if you're someone that is fearful of their own thoughts, if you're someone who hates their own skin tone or hates who they are, if you are someone who can't look in the mirror, these probably aren't for you. And if you don't want to experience that, then these probably aren't for you. But if you're someone who feels like you're in a deep pit and you feel like there is something, like you're missing something and you need a little bit more, and you want to like find what you're missing, or you feel like you still have past emotions that are holding you back, or you feel like something's holding you back rather than you're scared of something, then these are possibly something that could help you. Now let me give you some advice. Your first time doing them, you probably shouldn't do it alone, just because it's really easy to get into a sunken place, and not everyone likes to be in that. So I'd recommend having like a sober friend or someone to take it with, so like you can almost balance each other out. You shouldn't do anything alone the first time. Like, you wouldn't drink alone by yourself the first time. You shouldn't be drinking anyway, but you want to drink alone your first time. You know what I mean? Alright. And then lastly, I would say go into it with like an open mind. Like, I think being open-minded about everything is incredibly important. Just about the universe we live in, and the reality that we create for ourselves is like, one thing, it's reality is incredibly fragile. Like what we see, we only see 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum, less than 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum. So everything that you see is less than 1% of what is actually in front of you. You know what I mean? So what I think happens is you see a lot more of what's around you. I think that's a good way of putting it. You see a lot more of what's around you. Things become more clear. And yeah, fun fact, in the 1960s, the hippie movement was started. This is completely off topic. The hippie movement was started by the CIA. CIA injected or started giving acid to a bunch of people because they thought that it would make people more impressionable. They realized that it did the exact opposite, and then they made it illegal. Just about every artist, celebrity, like whoever, like anybody you listen to has taken these substances and it's helped them substantially, and a lot of them have talked about it. Like, if you want to, there's a documentary on Netflix about it too. Like, if you are genuinely interested in these substances, like, look at the TED Talks about it. Like, don't just trust me. Look at the TED Talks, look at the documentaries. There are tons of people talking about it, and it's not that bad. Don't be afraid. There's no such thing as good or bad. Yin and yang, everything, it needs to coexist. You can't have God and the devil. There is no such thing as complete good, or there is no such thing as complete bad. Alright? We all good. We all good here. We all good. Ashe. Stay blessed. Stay peaced. This is kind of like a rambling video, but just stick with it. And if you're trying to get sober, just do it, dog. Just stop smoking, start meditating, go within. All the power, all the answers that you ever need is within you. Never forget that. Alright? Nature, baby. I love nature. Peace. Alright, excuse the loud ass gang stalkers below me, but just want to add one more thing. I try not to cut my videos too much because I want you guys to like feel me for me, and not like, I don't want to sit here and try to build a perception of who I want you to think I am. So if you appreciate it, then that's cool. If you don't like my videos because they're not cut, just let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you.